Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into another exciting edition of Cory Comments On. I'm your host, Cory McKnight. You can join me every Friday at 2 and 5 p.m. right here on allwnyradio.com. And while you're there, by the way, go ahead and cast your votes for the brand new 2018 edition of the All WNY Awards. We scrapped last year's edition. Things got a little bit confuzzled, but we are back. We are better than ever. Lots of cool local bands are nominated. Even some stuff to do with the radio station here. Best podcast? Anybody? It's probably the Think So Joe show. Nobody's going to vote for Cory Comments On, but I'm campaigning for your vote. So head on over to allwnynews.com, click on awards. You can vote through Facebook on the All WNY page. Lots of ways you can vote, and we want to hear from you. Your vote counts. Anyways, today it is Friday, October 12th, 2018. And it is fucking freezing. I came out to do the show last week. I'd sit in my car like a loser and record the show on my phone. And it was nice and warm. And I was like, okay, October's here, fall's here. But this is cool. I'm cool with this. And now today it's like really rainy and cold. Hate to see it. This is what we're going to have for probably months going forward. But hockey's back. So that's good, right? We're not going to talk about hockey, though, today. Thank God for you, because you're probably bored of that. Even though Rasmus Dahlin did get his first point for the Buffalo Sabres last night, 6-1 loss to the Colorado Avalanche. I'm going to get that one in there, even though we're not talking about sports or hockey today. Congrats to Rasmus Dahlin. Anyways, today is National Free Thought Day. Free Thought Day. So that got me thinking. First of all, the National Free Thought Day was apparently founded on the anniversary of what was the end of the Salem witch trials, effectively, in Salem, Massachusetts, of course, where we decided to stop burning people for thinking that they believe in the occult or accusing them of being witches or whatever. Real progressive we are here in the United States. And I guess it's a celebration of that in a way, but the thing explained that the way to celebrate National Free Thought Day is to think rationally. Like, that was pretty much all it said. And then use, like, hashtag Free Thought Day on social media. Think rationally today. I love that we need a day for that, to think rationally. It should be every day. God damn it. But while I was perusing the interwebs, I actually heard about this story yesterday. I want to talk about a few things, actually, today. But this one real quick in particular, I heard about yesterday. Just read about this morning. Darien Lake amusement park in Darien, New York. Very famous. Six Flags. They got the Superman, Ride of Steel, fucking concerts all the time. Everyone knows Darien Lake, right? They also have their Fright Fest every year in October, which is also very famous. They do lucrative haunted house and all this crazy stuff, and they got ghosts and goblins everywhere. But this year is a little bit different because they're having a contest, and believe it or not, 6 people actually, I don't know whether you sign up, whether you have to qualify or what. They signed up to spend potentially 30 straight hours in a coffin. This is the contest. 30 hours in a coffin, and if you win, you get $300, season passes for next year at Darien Lake, and you even get to keep the coffin, too, was part of the deal, I guess. 30 hours, I guess you get a 5-minute break or so every hour where you can get out and go to the bathroom or whatever, but I don't know what happens if you have like an emergency and it's going to take a while, like you're disqualified. Be like, man, but I had to use the bathroom though. I guess you can have your phone in there too. I don't know if they got USB chargers inside of these coffins. You can keep your phone alive for 30 fucking hours while you're lying in a wooden coffin, by the way. It's not like they're like luxurious, suites that you're staying in. I thought this was the fucking dumbest thing I've ever seen in maybe in my entire life. So I had to just give a quick mention to the Fright Fest at Darien Lake and the 30-hour coffin contest. Would you do it? Would you attempt it? Another thing, this is not confirmed, but I've heard that even if you do win the 30-hour thingy there with the coffins, that you're just entered into a drawing later on to win the $300 and the season passes. You don't even get it right away. I don't know if that's true or not. We're going to have to confirm that. We got, my top guys are working on the story there, but would you do it? I definitely wouldn't. Even if they had chargers in there for my phone, even if they had, like, I don't know, a foot massager going for some of it, wouldn't do it. I think it's crazy But maybe you could win $300 or something. I don't know if they're still taking fucking applications, but DarienLake.com, whatever. Check it out. Another thing I wanted to get to. We haven't talked about, probably for a reason, but it's been quite a while since we've talked about former court judge Laticia Stassi, who is still suspended. Not sure if it's with or without pay anymore. She's not judging right now. So former judge Laticia Stassi, she's actually now also facing formal charges for the incident that happened when she went into a Dick's Sporting Goods several months ago and attempted to buy a shotgun and ammunition for it. She was denied sale by the employees. The authorities were called. She was subsequently arrested, I believe, and now she's facing formal charges. So she is back in court again. She's back in the media again. The story that keeps on giving, Laticia Stassi, we can't get enough of you. But she came back with a new look to the courtroom just last week, and maybe that will bring her some new luck as well, because she's had some pretty hard luck, on her own doing, of course, on her own accord. It's pretty hard luck over the past couple years. But Judge Laticia Stassi has almost completely shaved her head, like a really short, crew cut, almost hairstyle, and I'm digging it. I think it's going to change everything for her. New look, new life, less crime, less drinking, hopefully, less buying guns. She may have been drunk, I don't know, when she was trying to buy the gun, who knows. But she shaved her head, and I thought it was notable. I thought I should mention it on the show, because she looks good. She looks professional, like she's ready to win her case against her for trying to buy a loaded firearm to protect herself from, to be fair, it was during the kind of the media onslaught several months back, or it could have been a year ago by now already, where she was getting hounded every single day over the DWI charge and whether she should be a judge or not and whether she should be suspended and all that stuff. Now she's back in court for a different reason, but she's got a new look and a new attitude. And hopefully it's not as disrespectful as her old attitude. It's crazy. Another thing I wanted to get to finally here on the show, because they only give me so much time, and usually I don't even realize how long I'm rambling for, but this is my show. Cory Comments On. Commenting on things. So I want to comment quickly on Brett Kavanaugh. Yes, I know, we've heard all about this shit for weeks now, but just a few days ago, Brett Kavanaugh was confirmed to the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court, as the newest justice in the Supreme Court, and it's just befuddling. I couldn't think of a good word. Is befuddling a word? That's a word, right? I'm befuddled by the fact that, for putting aside the entire, having to speak on the floor of the House about this sexual assault allegedly 30 years ago, all this stuff, all this crazy stuff, putting it aside, just watching him talk, even in other places, even when it wasn't when he was testifying or whatever, he just seems like such a douchebag. Oh my God. Brett Kavanaugh. Guy's a nerd. He likes beer, though. So he gets one point in my book. He said, I like beer. Is there anything wrong with liking beer? God damn it, no, there's not anything wrong with liking beer. But there is something wrong with being a creepy guy. And he just seems like a creepy guy. That's why it's difficult for me to believe that he didn't at least attempt something that night where he was alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman against her will at a party. Says he wasn't even there, then he was lying, then he was like, oh, I was there, and then everything's changing, and I like beer, and I like boofing. I love that boofing came out of this whole thing, too, which it isn't funny. Like, it's a very serious thing, and I was actually shocked that he was confirmed, which is what I'm getting to here, but I love that boofing came out of this case here. Look it up, Google it, or maybe, actually, no, don't. I'll just tell you. Boofing is like the practice of taking drugs rectally. Boofing. So you probably don't want to Google it, actually. But I love that came out of this. There's a couple other things, too. The Devil's Triangle or something they asked him about. He's like, it's a drinking game. It's like quarters. Bullshit. This was all, like, I feel, anyway, in my opinion, like code language that he used, and even if it was 30, 35 years ago or whatever, for the fact that he was sexually promiscuous or whatever, and that he was getting fucked up and doing stuff that he didn't remember, but oh well, he's still in the Supreme Court anyway. And I don't necessarily think that it's fair for things from 30 years ago to be brought back up and, potentially affect a job that you might be able to get. But if it's something like this, I'm going to go ahead and make an exception. Sexual assault allegations, very serious. FBI investigation, all the whole jazz. You probably know all about it. And I don't know. I guess he was cleared of any wrongdoing. But how are you really going to prove that? And how are you really going to defend yourself 30 years later? I'm looking at both sides. How is this doctor going to prove her side? How is Brett Kavanaugh going to defend himself when it was 30 plus years ago? It's difficult, but he was confirmed, and that's a big surprise to me. I don't know. I thought this thing would really affect him, where he wouldn't get the vote, but senators or whatever, the congressmen are all, they all like Brett Kavanaugh. They like beer. We all like beer. Anyways, if you guys want to chime in on any of these very, I'm sure, interesting topics that I have brought to the table here today, please do tweet me at allwnycory on Twitter. Chime in about the Coffin Contest, Judge Estacio, Brett Kavanaugh, your free thoughts. You can give your free thoughts today. Just give them every day. And do not forget to vote in the 2018 All WNY Awards as well. And I will see you next Friday. Thank you for joining me so much here on Cory Comments On, and I will see you in a week. You guys take care. Peace.